Artificial intelligence can feel like it gets things wrong, a lot. As a coach, consultant or small business owner, I bet that you've had false or factually incorrect outputs from tools like ChatGPT. These inaccurate responses can take time to fix, which is frustrating, especially if you're trying to use these tools to save you time. However, these inaccuracies are not a reason to stop using AI. Often it's a case of rubbish in and rubbish out. I believe we're setting an unfairly high bar for AI to meet. So let's reframe this problem. How can I help AI get more things right more often? My name is Simon Batchelor, and in this video I'll explain the common reasons that AI can produce errors, why these kind of outputs can seem more frequent when we're using AI tools, and I'll also offer some practical tips on how to help AI make less mistakes. There are three common ways that AI makes mistakes. Number one is hallucinations, when AI makes stuff up. One of the most intriguing and frustrating ways that AI can go wrong is what is known as a hallucination, or more accurately, a confabulation. This is when AI generates information that sounds plausible but is completely fabricated. For example, you might ask ChatGPT for an insight into a specific topic and it confidently provides that answer to you. But when you check it, it's factually incorrect. It sometimes makes up cities, names or places that simply don't exist. So why does this happen? Well, AI models like ChatGPT are trained on vast amounts of data, but they don't understand this information in the same way that humans do. Instead, they predict likely word patterns based on probabilities. So if it can't find a concrete answer, it may piece together something that looks right, even if it's not. Now, this is problematic when you need reliable data for business decisions. Number two is fake citations, and this is when AI links to nowhere. If you've ever asked ChatGPT or a similar model to give you references or sources, it may have given you a link or a citation, but have you checked that they actually exist? Now, this is because AI, most of the time, doesn't have a real-time access to the web or a specific set of sources. Instead, it generates responses based on patterns in the data that it was trained on. Now, I'm not saying that AI is lying to you, it's merely trying to satisfy your request in a way that fits the pattern of a legitimate citation. The problem arises when you rely on that citation to back up an important point or decision. Number three is reward hacking, and this is when AI optimizes for the wrong thing. AI models are designed and trained to optimize their outputs based on a specific set of goals, such as providing an answer or maximizing user engagement. However, unless these goals are aligned with yours, you can end up with AI material that satisfies the AI's built-in parameters rather than your objectives. For example, you might want meaningful information that connects with your audience, but an AI system might generate clickbait content for you because clickbait gets the highest engagement. Another example would be a social media algorithm that curates your feed based on its own drivers, which means it will sometimes show you irrelevant or unhelpful content instead because it knows you've got to scroll past it. So why do AI mistakes feel more significant than they are? Well, when we interact with AI tools like ChatGPT, Claude or Gemini, we tend to expect them to get it right first time. If and when they fail, it's frustrating and we may question the tool's reliability. This contrasts sharply with how we engage with other instances of AI. On social media, for instance, if an AI algorithm serves up a post we don't like, we simply scroll past it. We don't dwell on that mistake, we move on. Similarly, with Google search results, if one link doesn't answer our question, we just click on another one. The difference is that when we ask AI a specific question and it provides a single answer, we treat that as its final output. We're applying a higher standard to this kind of AI use, and that leads us to amplify any errors. It's important to remember that AI is not infallible, and like any other tool, getting successful results depends on how we use it. And that sometimes requires a bit of trial and error. So how can you avoid common AI mistakes? Well, here's a few practical steps that you can take to get the most out of these AI tools. Number one is use AI as a support tool. So treat AI as a helpful assistant, not a final authority. Number 2 is to be really clear with your prompts. This will help you avoid reward hacking by clearly defining what you want from that AI tool. Be specific with your prompts or instructions, because the clearer you are with your input means it's more likely that you'll get a meaningful, relevant and accurate output. If you want some help with this, I've got a whole section on how to do effective prompting in my new AI video course, and I'll tell you a bit more about that later. Number 3 is to look beyond that first answer. If you don't get the correct answer the first time, then try rephrasing your question, asking it to expand or explain in more detail, or just try a different approach. Number 4, double check the facts. Always verify any critical information included in an AI response, especially if it affects your business. By understanding the limitation of AI and taking a few simple precautions, you can avoid errors and inaccuracy and get the most out of these powerful tools. If you want to learn more about how to get the most out of AI, then I've created a video course to help you get started and to build your AI skills. The course is created specifically for coaches, consultants and small business owners, and it's focused on how AI can make your marketing easier and more effective. There are 15 short step-by-step guides on how to use the many different aspects of AI effectively in your business. To learn more about the course and to buy instant access, go to simonbatchelor.co.uk. I'll see you in the next video.